You are tuned to Women and Water in Central Asia podcasts. Join us in our search and discovery of the water sector through the gender perspective, and meet the female water professionals from Central Asia and experts from around the world. Hear their first-hand stories, their opinions on complex water issues, their amazing achievements and ways of overcoming challenges. We are happy to receive your feedback and ideas about our podcasts. The podcasts are brought to you by OSCE's Women, Water Management and Conflict Prevention Phase 2 project, in partnership with the Central Asia Youth for Water, a regional network connecting youth and engaging them into the Central Asia's water management issues.
Join us!
Good afternoon, dear friends. Welcome to our today's podcast. Thank you for being here with us and for your interest in our Women and Water in Central Asia podcast series. Our today's topic is Women Policymakers in Regional Water Cooperation in Transboundary Water Resources Management. And we, Lazat Sirlabayeva and Mohammad Najim Nasimi, regional and national coordinators of the Central Asia Youth for Water Network, are your hosts today. As you know, cooperation over shared waters is essential for environmental sustainability, regional peace and security, as well as for economic growth. Women play a prominent role in the productive use and management of water resources. Water policies need to be more responsive to the existing differentiated gender roles. And increasing women's participation in transboundary water cooperation is essential for the development and sustainability of agreements over shared waters in Central Asia and Afghanistan. And our today's guest will be a perfect leader who can share her story with us, particularly related to this topic. Over to you, Najim.
Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Fooman Forough. So I want to shortly introduce her. Ms. Fooman Forough is one of the key Afghan women who work at a high level in the water sector of Afghanistan. She has a master's degree in hydraulic structures. She has worked for more than 5 years in the Afghanistan water sector, from hydraulic structure design specialist to dams and rivers advisor, and acting director of water resources allocation at the Ministry of Water and Energy of Afghanistan. Ms. Fooman is a former lecturer at Katib University of Afghanistan, and her previous position was a general director of Kabul River Basin, Afghanistan. So welcome, Ms. Forough, to our today podcast. So I'm going to ask you the first question from you. So what made you become interested in the water sector in the first place? Have you drawn professional inspiration from other women? Is there someone who inspired you?
Hello to everyone. Thank you for your program. For the question, when I graduated from civil engineering in 2010, Afghanistan was developing at an unprecedented rate. The water sector, which was playing a key role in the development, had taken effective initial steps in all of areas of education, research, technical, law and policy, construction, and needed to implement the IWRM approach in its river basin. This sector needed a lot of specialists and researchers, so I continue my education in this field and become employed. I praise all the powerful women who were able to change the view of men on the woman. But I have cited the example of Goharshad Begum, who lived in the 4th century and was a powerful and mighty queen in the geography of my life. It is mentionable that she played an important role in the development of my city, Herat, and Jami, who was a famous scientist and poet, with the support and the help of this queen, was able to create a water allocation system for Herat canals, which is still used today. So I'm proud this queen, and he is inspiring me, and I want to become like this queen. It's mentionable A few women work in the water sector at the decision-making level, the Ministry of Energy, Water, or also the sector that related to the water. And I was the first woman become General Director of Kabul River Basin, or the Basin, because after me, didn't any woman be General Director. And I'm inspires young women engineers that work in the Ministry of Energy and Water. And they realize if they try hard, one day they can play a role in the high decision-making position. Of course, these events were related to before the arrival of the Taliban, and now the situation was changed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fooman. We're very happy that you're here with us. So is there any difference if women decision makers like you, that you work as a director of Kabul River Basin, enter into the policy making process in the water sector?
As you know, most of the time, women are the primary user. They manage how to access to the water and how much use it. If the water system is down in an area, the main effect is on the women because they are once forced to travel long distance over many houses to meet their family water needs, especially in Afghanistan. Water distribution system doesn't improve well in the village, and most of the people live in the rural area. And conversely, women benefit much more when the services are improved. I want to share the research. UNDP published research in 2006 that showed in Eastern Agunda found that women spend an average of 660 hours per year collecting water from their household, which represent 2 full months of labor. Cumulatively, one estimate suggests that some 40 billion hours a year are spent collecting water in sub-Saharan Africa, equal to a year labor for the entire workforce of France. So when a professional woman enters into a policy-making process in a water sector, she considering the woman's problems during providing of water. While men focus on the major things like providing water for agriculture, industry, mine, and etc., and forget the woman's problem that they are the primary user of the water and need the water in the good place 24 hours and also some things. Hence, when the policy considering women as the primary user, they find more time to be educated and engage in social, economic, and political activities. Finally, educated women can help to build a discriminating society, and this society is developed and improve more and become a good and educated society.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fooman, for highlighting such an important message and a substantial part of women in the water sector. As a female leader, have you been confronted with any gender-related challenges in your career? Maybe you can describe us how you were able to overcome them.
Unfortunately, the majority of Afghans believe that the field related to the water sector, engineering or management, belong to men and only they can work in it and succeed. Therefore, women are not eager to study and work in the field related to the water sector. Challenges faced for women are lack of policy that reflect their real needs and can properly develop gender mainstreaming. Afghanistan man culture requires a change of mindset that can be achieved through a participation of the women in social, political, economic, and cultural activities. Like other women, I faced many challenges during my professional period. The main challenges began. I started working in the Ministry of Energy and Water because I stepped into an entirely male environment. I applied for the position as a hydraulic structure design specialist. On exam day, there was only one female candidate, and that was me. In the early years of my career, I was significantly denied and my opinion were ignored. My male colleagues received more attention from the authorities, and they were invited to attend meetings and workshops, and also travel to abroad and join to the workshop in abroad, and and develop their skills. But I was not disappointed and continue on my way. I increase and update my knowledge in my field and express my opinion with confidence. I performed the task assigned to me on time, correctly, and accurately. Besides this, I developed my social behavior. After a while time, I was able to attract the attention of the authorities and work at higher levels. This way, because that I became a general director of Kabul River Basin.
Thank you so much for sharing this strong example. You already shared how women could be more active in the water sector, but maybe you can also advise how female specialists can make their mark in the workplace.
In my opinion, the first factor that women can influence in their field of work is having updated knowledge. Knowledge is a powerful tool. When you have enough knowledge about the subject, you can express your opinion in a logical and reasoned way with confidence. Women's cooperation with responsibility can lead them to become leaders and influence their colleagues. Therefore, having knowledge, self-confidence, cooperative spirit, and responsibility can highlight the role of women in the workplaces.
Thank you, Ms. Fooman. You point out very good characteristics. So, in your opinion, cooperation over shared waters in Central Asia is essential for development. Women make up only 10% of decision-making positions in river basin organizations, but this share is very low, especially in Central Asia. Can you tell about the role of women in water diplomacy and cooperation?
In my idea, women roles in water diplomacy and cooperation are divided in three items. First, women are better mediators than men, and they can play the main role in water diplomacy and cooperation. Women always favored an approach that denies hard power and believe in a relational approach that works in mutual trust and confidence. Second item is a woman's participation can also help increase understanding perspective, and women can express the view of others in a better way. And it prevents of conflicts. And in number three, the third is the woman can bring gender perspective to the mediation because women are among the main water stakeholders.
Thank you so much for focusing on this and dividing this in groups as well. It's very interesting viewpoint. Ms. Fooman, what is one thing about women and career development you wish you had learned earlier?
I have a wish to learn a lot of things because I love learning and studying, but I had a wish to learn gender mainstreaming in water governance. And I hopefully I learned it in an island course a month ago, thanks to the OSCE that organized this course. Is very wonderful and very useful for me about the gender and water and gender mainstreaming. Thank you again. And in addition, I would like to learn two other things. One, how can a woman be a good mediator in water diplomacy and cooperation? It helps me join regional water sharing diplomacy, and I can have a role in the development of cooperation in water sector between countries. I love it. I love that I became a mediator in water diplomacy. And also number two, the role of a woman in food security and water management, because food and water are related together. I want to learn it because in the future, water and food scarcity will be increasing all around the world. And maybe we witness war for water and food. So it's important for a woman in high level and in decision making to learn how to manage the food and the water together that prevent the war or conflict in the area.
Indeed, we see a lot the high importance of cross-sectoral and interdisciplinary approach, and we wish that you achieve your goals and you will enhance your knowledge in these fields.
Thank you.
What could be your advice to our female listeners or male listeners to balance a personal life with a successful career?
At the first, I have confused when I became General Director of Kabul River Basin. I had a lot of duty to do in my career, and also I became married. Two of them, it's very confused me how I can manage my personal life and my career. So I think I must have a plan. For every work, I must have a plan. So I prioritize works and make a flexible plan for personal life and also for my career. I separate my family life and my work time, so I try don't bring works tasks to my home. And also, usually I ask my husband and my family to help me in the houseworks. At the last, I think it's very important that improvement of task management ability is important to able to balance personal life with career. And I became successful when I was a plan for every work.
Ms. Fooman, we also at the beginning of our career journey in the big, diverse, and interesting water sector. What could be your advice to us in advancing further as a water expert?
I just tell that when I did it. Just the advice that I did and I succeeded. Sometimes I became sad because I see the denied me and ignored me by people, but I'm strong and continue. So I advise to younger female or male that wants to steps new and first step in the water sector, be strong and always be learning. Ignoring you by others should not have a negative effect on you, but should make you stronger. Success can never be achieved without hardship and suffering. Consider every failure as the beginning of a victory. Discover your strengths and weaknesses and try to overcome your weakness and improve your strengths with your potential. And there is nothing impossible for women. It's our minds that have set a limit for us. Care of your dreams and interests and fight to achieve them. Develop your self-confidence and social behavior. And finally, becoming an expert in the water sector for a woman is not a dream. Just must believe in themselves and their abilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fooman. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experience. It was a very nice speech. I love it.
I love it too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fooman. Indeed, it was very special. Thank you for sharing your personal story, your guidance, your advice. It's very invaluable. Dear friends, that's it for now, and we hope you enjoyed being part of this story our amazing guest has shared with us today. Stay tuned for our next podcasts. Bye-bye for today.